get real-time Secretary of State data. So we offer real-time, as in whatever reflects on the Secretary of State, we are going to have it for you. We can even get screenshots. So that data will be there available as screenshots, documents where it's available, officers where it's available. We're gonna get all the data that you can get from the Secretary of State. We can get it. We have integrations into all 51 states. And when a business registers, when they start, they have to register their business. And the Secretary of State tracks things, especially, this is what most people want, is things like the status, like is the business in good standing? And this is to help them assess risk. The big things they're looking for are fraud. Is this business real or is it not real? We went through and we did a research project where we wanted to find all the different statuses that exist with the Secretary of State. We found 402 different statuses in all 50 states. This is kind of a big deal. Let's say that you, as the savvy commercial underwriter you are underwriting a business for a commercial loan, and you see the status come back from the Secretary of State as suspended. What does that mean? Is that a concern? Should you hold off on this loan when everything else looks great? Well, we're going to talk about this more in this video. So it's really important that you understand the different statuses that each Secretary of State provides and what they mean. Today, we're going to walk through the statuses specific to a certain state. Washington's 7 business entity statuses you need to know. Number 1, active. This status indicates that the business entity is currently in good standing with the Washington Secretary of State. It means the entity has met all filing and fee requirements and is authorized to conduct business in Washington. For lenders, this status suggests a lower risk profile as it demonstrates the business's compliance with state regulations and its ability to maintain good standing, which can be indicative of overall operational stability and financial responsibility. Now let's proceed to number 2, administratively dissolved. This status means the entity has been dissolved by the state due to failure to comply with legal requirements, such as not filing annual reports or not maintaining a registered agent. An administratively dissolved entity is not allowed to conduct business in Washington unless it is reinstated. Lenders should exercise extreme caution when considering loans to businesses with this status, as it indicates significant non-compliance issues and potential operational instability, which could greatly impact the business's ability to repay loans. Number 3, inactive. This status indicates that the business entity is not currently active and is not in good standing with the state. This can occur due to failure to meet certain requirements, such as not filing necessary documents or not paying required fees. For lenders, an inactive status raises red flags about the business's operational status and compliance, suggesting higher risk and potential difficulties in loan repayment, thus requiring thorough investigation before considering any lending decisions. Let's proceed to number 4, delinquent. The entity has failed to comply with certain state requirements, such as filing reports or paying fees, which has caused it to be marked as delinquent. Delinquent entities are at risk of being administratively dissolved if the issues are not resolved. Lenders should approach businesses with this status cautiously, as it may indicate financial difficulties or management issues that could affect the business's creditworthiness and ability to meet loan obligations. Number 5, terminated. This status means the entity's legal existence has been ended either by a voluntary decision of the entity's owners or by the state due to failure to comply with requirements. A terminated entity is no longer authorized to conduct business. For lenders, a terminated status essentially means the business no longer exists legally, making it an extremely high risk or impossible lending prospect, and any outstanding loans to such entities may need to be reassessed for potential losses. Now let's proceed to number 6, voluntarily dissolved. The entity has chosen to dissolve itself voluntarily through a formal process. This means the entity has filed the necessary paperwork to end its existence and has ceased operations in Washington. Lenders should be aware that voluntarily dissolved businesses have intentionally ceased operations, making them unsuitable for new loans and potentially impacting the repayment of any existing loans, which may need to be addressed through the dissolution process. Number 7, withdrawn. This status applies to foreign entities that have chosen to cease their business activities in Washington and have officially withdrawn their registration with the state. For lenders, a withdrawn status indicates that the business has formally ended its operations in Washington, which could significantly impact its ability to generate revenue in the state and potentially affect its overall financial stability, requiring careful consideration in lending decisions and risk assessments. All right, let's look at an example if we wanted to do something like this and kind of how Cobalt Intelligence can help you with this. This right here is an example using this API. Now, Cobalt Intelligence is an API first, where the idea is that you can get all this data via API and get it integrated right into your system. Let's say you search for this business, 199 Franklin RC in California. So we're gonna hit send, and this is what we get back. Now, the status is suspended FTB, and this right here, specifically for California, is the franchise tax board, which means it's delinquent with its taxes in California. Not enough to be terminated, but enough to put it in suspension. So this is somewhat of a risk here. Now, this could be hard to go through because, like we said, there's 402 different statuses out there. So what you can do is use this normalized status where we go through and interpret these things and we mark it as inactive. And we're going to put those as two different options. It's either going to be active or it's going to be inactive. And so then you can programmatically, as you integrate this into your API and as this is processing through your software, you're going to get a feedback that says, hey, this business is active or inactive and may prompt further note. So it can kind of take it down certain paths. Now, if I was building this, I would use that as, like I said, a programmatic decision maker and put it in the, oh, this needs questioning right here. If it's inactive, I'm going to automatically put this in stipulations where someone's going to have to go and follow up further. And then you could display this string of suspended FTB, and then your underwriters could go through and check it and say, okay, this is something we need to dig further into, and this, or maybe not, or maybe we just decline the file altogether. I hope this has been helpful for you to see how these different statuses in the state can really vary and how it can be different for you and impact your business. I invite you to try the Secretary of State API. We have a free trial that it comes with, so you can go ahead and try it out. We also offer paid pilots, so you can try out a big number of searches and see really if the data is something that can be helpful for you. I'm Jordan Hansen. If this has been helpful at all, hit that like and subscribe button. We will help you out with what you're trying to do. Thank you.